Violence and destruction again in Swellendam over a lack of service delivery. South Africa's extreme weather, from the 10-foot high waves in the Western Cape to violent wind and storms in Gauteng. Inflation is on the rise. Will it impact the repo rate and ultimately our pockets tomorrow? Cutting the power and switching the lights off for non-payers. Hello, I'm Jane Dutton. Good to have you with us.
This is Eyewitness News.
Well, we're currently on scene of yet another fire within the inner city of Johannesburg. This time, the SARS building behind me on Rustic Street was well alight. The fire started around about 12 p.m. from what we understand, speaking to an employee who was in the building at the time. Now, if we can paint a picture of this building, it's a 7-story building. The first and second floor had employees on it. The rest of the floors up to the 7th floor were completely vacant, and they only had records and files being stored there. From what we understand, the fire started around about 12 p.m. within the basement. And in the basement, there were a number of vehicles, employees' vehicles parked, as well as a number of files and records that were being kept there. So it's interesting to find out what exact files were being kept there.
Violence and destruction, the senseless modus operandi of protesters in this country. This time, it was Swellendam's turn again. Anger over lack of service delivery led to the torching of a community hall and a fire services truck. This resident says the situation is volatile and real leadership, backup and help is needed at this time.
Our whole town is held hostage because all the businesses are closed. Children are writing exams today. They can't go to school to write exams. What will happen, I don't know. The taxis were told last night they can't operate, and buses.
She also claims instigators are being bussed into the community to take part in the protests. Now, the mayhem started on the 16th of last month when demonstrators set a municipal building alight. More than 20 people were arrested at the time. This is what some residents in Tshwane have been dealing with today. Their new reality after last night's storm ripped off rooftops and destroyed shacks, blowing many away. Many have been left homeless too in the informal settlement of Kameeldrift. Residents there tell us that at around 9 p.m, strong winds blew a fire at a nearby dumping area towards their shacks. At least 90 shacks and several cars were gutted.
So the social department will now take the second step of trying to get some food support for them and blankets, etc. I'm just waiting for feedback from the mayor's office and the disaster team in terms of where we're going to place these people, the affected community. It might be in a community hall or a church hall for now, and then how we're going to support them in terms of structures to rebuild it, etc.
Johannesburg emergency services remain on high alert. If you don't pay your electricity bills, this could be your reality. City Power was back in Midrand in central Johannesburg, cutting off electricity to non-payers.
We are looking into recouping 13 million for today. And currently where we are standing, we just switched off the customer at Matric close. They owe us 1.5. So it's 1.5 towards the 13 million that we are looking to collect to recoup today. So our total debt book, we are sitting at 340 million. And that 340 million, I'm only talking businesses and large power users. So that is what we are chasing at this current moment.
eThekwini's top cops and taxi leaders met today. The aim to make sure something like this will never happen again. A number of taxis blocked the M4 highway, causing gridlock and hell for commuters in Umhlanga. They were protesting because the newly built Oceans Mall doesn't have a rank for taxi operators.
Today, eThekwini Metropolis top brass and eThekwini municipality officials met with taxi bosses over yesterday's M4 protest. This as taxi operators want to continue operating next to the Oceans Mall in Umhlanga, north of Durban. This is the area where taxis previously operated in before the mall was built. However, since the mall was built, they say some barricades have been placed to prevent them from doing their job. They say they want to continue working next to the mall as they bring and collect commuters from the mall on daily basis. However, eThekwini's Boyce Zungu says they want to ensure that eThekwini Metropolis's Boyce Zungu says they want to ensure that they get a long-term solution into this matter, saying that they want to put the conflict to rest. Nhlanhla Mabaso, Eyewitness News, eThekwini.
Not sure this is quite what we want to hear ahead of the Reserve Bank's announcement on the repo rate tomorrow. Stats SA says the annual consumer inflation for August has inched up to 4.8% from 4.7% in July. Now, this is the first time inflation has increased in 4 months. The marginal increase was mostly in line with expectations from some economists. Stats SA's Patrick Kelly says this wasn't enough to offset the rise in fuel prices and increases in municipal tariffs.
Annual inflation for food and non-alcoholic beverages declined for a 5th straight month, softening from 9.9% in July to 8% in August. All food and non-alcoholic beverages categories, aside from fruit, recorded lower annual rates in August. The bread and cereals category registered an annual increase of 9.9%, lower than July's reading of 13.1%.
So if you're a parent or in your last year at school, listen up. Only 40 days to go for the start of the written National Senior Certificate exams. The Western Cape Education Department says its annual Matric support booklet has been delivered to schools for over 60,000 candidates. The booklets contain past papers in high enrolment subjects, the exam timetable, study tips, post-matric advice and past requirements. It also provides learners with all the details on when and how the results will be released, the dates for remark and recheck applications, and how to apply for supplementary exams.
Nearly 18,000 matrics attended winter school, and spring school will take place during the first week of October. Back on track classes for matrics at selected schools have been taking place during term time every second Saturday, and our schools have also offered their own extra classes and revision support to their learners.
So if that applies to you, you better get cracking, and I shall see you for more again tomorrow. Remember to like and subscribe.
Eyewitness News, in touch, in tune and independent. For the latest, log on to ewn.co.za or ewn.mobi.